minus 3k.
Okay.
Okay.
Equals 3.
Minus 3 equals 0. Remember I told you last time?
Oh, yeah.
You kind of take
Yep.
yourself a couple seconds that way.
Yeah.
So feel free to do that.
Okay.
I have to connect the microphone correctly. Okay, there we go. So yeah.
Perfect.
So now we need to factor this.
Yes.
Let's do that. Do you want to do X games?
Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
So we got to do the X games. Let's put it up right here. What's the product? What's the sum?
Product is oh. Do I have to multiply?
Product is A times C, right? That's why we call it the product, because you multiply two things.
A
And then
B.
Yes, there you go.
Okay.
What's the product here?
The product is -9.
Excellent. And what is the sum?
-8.
Very good job. So the question becomes, what two numbers, what two factors do we multiply together to get a -9? And when we add them together, we get a -8.
9 and -1.
That's a good, yeah, very good thought. I think I like that, but I'm curious to see. You said, huh?
Oh.
You said 9 and -1. So I think the numbers are right, but the signs may be incorrect. Why don't we check them?
Okay.
So you're saying 9 over here and -1, but 9 times -1 is -9, but what's 9 minus 1?
But that's only +8.
Correct. So the signs are not correct. So maybe try switching the signs around, right? Making this a negative.
Oh. Yeah.
Did that work?
Mm-hmm.
Now, once we have that, as we always do, we're going to automatically set up two parentheses like shown.
Yep.
What goes in the first parenthesis?
X minus 9.
Right. I'm going to use K, but yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
At K minus 9. Very good. And what goes in the other second parenthesis?
K plus 1.
That's right. K plus 1. Now, because this is the fancier version, right? Remember the fancier version? How does this change the process? What do we do differently?
Oh, we divide by 3.
Yeah, divide what by 3 specifically?
Divide -9 by 3 and 1 by 3.
Very good. Yeah, you're dividing both of these.
Yes.
By the leading coefficient right here, divided by 3. This is a shortcut. Some teachers don't like it. If your teacher doesn't like it, tell them to come see me.
Okay.
Just kidding. But yeah, so this simplifies to what?
-3.
K minus 3 then.
-3, yeah.
It works 100% of the time, by the way. So what do we do with this 3? Are we allowed to have a fraction?
No.
So how do we fix that?
We put the 3 in front of the K.
Yeah, very good. You simply take this 3, drag it, and drop it right at the beginning of this. Okay, so then this becomes 3K plus 1. The reason why teachers don't like this is like a hack. It's not really like a mathematical process. It's just a hack. But yeah, now we need to solve for K.
Okay, so then we put both of them equal to 0.
Each one equal to 0. Very good. So K minus 3 equals 0, and 3K plus 1 equals 0. Let's solve for K on each one. You tell me what you've got. That looks good. Very nice. What you got?
Well, for K minus, I got K equals 3.
Excellent. For this one?
And yeah. K equals -1/3.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You sound like you're not sure. So let's have a chat.
Okay.
What's up?
Yeah, so I guess you're still allowed to have I think it's just the fraction that's throwing me off.
Yeah, you can
But it's
certainly
just-
have a fraction answer. Yeah, it's
Okay.
definitely within the realms of possibility.
Okay.
So yeah, subtract one from both sides. Just trust the math because you have the algebra skills to do this.
Mhm.
Just don't be surprised. At this point, at this stage in the game,
Yeah.
answers can be a fraction, they can be a decimal, they can be a squirrel or a dog or a cat, a monkey, anything.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah. Oh, I meant to say -1 here. My bad, not 0. What in the world? Yeah, so k ends up being -1/3.
Mhm.
Very good job.
Thank
There you have it. Yes, you are very welcome. So do you feel confident trying, do you feel confident with that?
Yeah.
Or do you want to try maybe another one of those? Or do you go to the next lesson? We said we would give each
Uh-huh.
15, and I think we've expended those 15 for that one. And we've tried two, we tried an easier version and the more challenging version.
For sure.
Okay, so then let's move on to the next lesson,
Okay.
which happens to be what?
Completing the square.
All right, this is the 4-step one. Remember those notes that you took one day and we had, oh yeah, step 1, you're gonna have to move the constant to the right,
Yes.
blah, blah, blah. Do you have those notes still?
I do.
Good. Let's do this.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Oh. Nine. Almost there.
Sure thing. There you go. Oh, yeah, that looks like no.
4 here. No, I helped a friend with it.
Hey,
Oh.
that's the way to learn. You actually helped a friend and you taught the friend how to do it.
Yeah.
That's one way of making sure you never forget something. Teach it to someone else. That's a life hack. You're welcome. Good.
Okay.
Okay, so what's the first equation?
X squared plus 6x plus 9
So x squared plus 6x plus 9.
equals 16.
Okay, cool. Based on your notes, which you will not have for the exam, but you have to know them, right?
Yeah.
So for now, since we're still in the practice mode, I'm going to let you go ahead and read them.
Okay.
Now, what's our first step?
Move constant to the right and leave blank.
Certainly. Let's do that.
Okay.
What would you do?
Well, first you have to subtract 9.
That's right. You're moving the constant to the right. So boom, 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 boom. And I'm going to leave blanks. So we have x
Plus 6x plus blank
Yep.
equals 7.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, plus blank. Right.
Because if you leave a blank on the left side, you have to leave that same blank on the right. Cool beans. Shall we continue?
Yeah.
Next step.
Fill blanks. Use b/2 squared.
Oh, that's a good idea. Let's do that. What's the b value?
6.
So it'll be 6 divided by 2 and then square that guy. What is that?
Oh, it's 9.
So we're going to fill the blanks with 9. So we have x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals 7 plus 9. Cool. Let's keep going.
Okay. Factor left side.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it okay with you if I actually just add these the right side because it's just 7 plus 9?
Oh yeah.
What's that going to be?
16.
Nicely done. Okay, I need some help from you on how to factor this left side. We had some tricks up our sleeves.
Divide by the square root.
Well, I think you're onto something, but before we even get there, we said anytime you're completing the square, you will always have this parenthesis and it'll be squared every single time. So we might as well set it up.
Yeah.
And then we talked about how to fill the blanks in here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, what sign is going to be in between?
Plus.
And how do we know this?
Because we do
You always copy the first sign. It happens to be a plus. That's why this is a plus. So
Okay,
how do we know this?
because you always copy the first sign.
Correct. So plus. Now, if you don't have that in your notes, you might want to add that step. All right. That's how you determine what sign you're going to have between the two terms.
Okay.
And then now we fill these little blanks,
Okay.
right? How do we do that?
Now you do the square root.
Yeah, square root of the first term and the square root of the last term. Okay, so x.
X
Mm-hmm.
plus 3.
Yay, very good.
Okay. So now
Mm-hmm.
step 4.
That's right.
Solve using the square root method.
Yeah.
Okay, so put a square root.
You're gonna take, well, really, we're not putting, you're right, but we're taking the square root. Take the square root of both sides,
Okay.
right? Like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
We have x plus 3
mhm.
equals, I won't even use the parentheses anymore
Okay.
because the squared is gone and we just have x plus 3 equals what?
Plus or minus.
Hey, high five. Boink. Good job. Very nicely done. Plus or minus what?
16. Oh, 4.
That's right. Then what?
Okay. Then you subtract 3.
Yeah, because you got to get x by itself. You're on fire. Whew. That's what's up. I love it. Good job. Those cancel. So x equals now. Be careful how you write this.
Okay.
Remember how we said we want to write this? We want the plus or minus to be in the middle, right?
Right.
So first we will write down the other term, which is -3 plus or minus 4. Now, do you have to do it this way? No. But does it help? Most certainly. It helps you read this a little easier. Because how do you read the first answer?
Negative x. Oh. X equals -3 plus minus 4.
Well, we're not reading both. We're doing one at a time.
Plus 4.
That's going to be your first answer, right?
Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, right.
So -3 plus 4 becomes
1.
correct. -3 minus 4. Remember the analogy here is Evie owes you
$3.
and then she owes you another 4.
So -1.
Wait, if she owes you 3 and she owes you 4,
Oh.
how does she owe you just 1?
Okay, so she owes me -7.
Yeah, she owes you 7. So boom, boom. Very good. So this was one that we had our training wheels on.
Yeah.
I want to remove the training wheels and just kind of have you go. Ready to try the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Okay.
I'll chime in if you need me to.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so great start. The problem is you cannot complete the square unless this is a positive. Or so one of the tricks is we can factor out of 1.
Okay.
So in fact, to complete that square, you just have to have a leading coefficient of 1. That's as a rule of thumb, right? So if we can take out that -1, in other words, factor it out, I'm gonna make it even easier for you, even more easier than that. I'm sure you'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can factor out the -1 for sure, but instead change all of the signs, all of them, to the opposite.
Okay.
Right? Would you rather do that instead?
Yeah, definitely.
So what do we have here?
Okay, a squared plus 10a minus 25
Equals
equals 25.
-25. Remember, you're changing all of the signs?
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we basically are factoring the -1 and then dividing both sides by it. But
Okay.
that's the shortcut. You change every single sign, including this guy.
Okay. Let me...
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so now we proceed.
Yeah.
Same steps. Take it from there. talk through it. I'm just gonna do what you say I do.
So a squared plus 10a plus blank equals oh,
Well, what's the first
we
step?
have to add 25 to
Yeah, moving the constant to the right.
Yeah.
So plus 25
Mhm.
plus 25.
Yeah.
That's when you leave the blanks.
Yeah.
Right. So let's. Yep. Very good.
Okay.
Next step for us.
Okay, now we do negative b over 2a
Cool.
squared.
So negative b over 2a. That's going to be. Wait, I think you're mixing up two ideas. That what you just gave me is for finding the vertex. So be very careful.
Oh my God.
So yeah, for finding the vertex is
Right.
negative b over 2a, and it's not squared. It's just negative b over 2a.
Okay.
For this one, we want to do b over 2
Oh my.
squared. That's a point of emphasis. Be very, very mindful of it on the exam.
Yeah.
Do you have a highlighter?
Yeah. I do.
Make a big deal of that on your paper so
Okay.
we don't make that mistake and just go, hey, yeah, when I'm completing a square, it makes sense to have a squared.
Yeah.
That's
obviously.
one way to remember that, yeah?
Yeah.
So yeah, because the
Okay.
finding the vertex, you do not square. It's just negative b over 2a.
Okay.
Anywho, so with that said, let's go ahead and fill in the blanks.
Okay. So we have 25 divided by 2.
Wait, the b value is not
Oh,
25.
10.
Yes.
10 divided by 2, which is 5. And then 5 squared is 25.
So we have a 25 right over here
Mhm.
and a 25 over here.
Mhm.
Okay. So then we keep going on. What's going to be on the right side? That's the easy side to do.
25.
I agree.
Okay.
Left side.
Now you factor left side.
Factor left. And we know it's going to always.
It's going to always copy the first sign.
Yeah.
Oh, and also do the front.
Yeah, that's what I would do first every single time because it factors really nicely. That's the point of completing this square, is just to have this nice consistent factor.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, what sign's going to go in between the two terms?
On the plus.
How do you know this?
Because you copy the first sign.
Yeah, this first sign happens to be a positive, so very good job. Miss Renee, what goes here?
A. Oh wait, yeah, A.
Are you saying A or are you saying A?
A.
Letter A?
Letter A.
A. Got it. So A goes here.
Yes.
And what goes here?
10.
How'd you get a 10?
Oh. A, 5.
Okay.
Yes.
It's always going to be the square root
root
of the first term and then the square root of the last term.
Mhm.
Okay, so now we are on to the final step, which is solving using which method?
Square root
Let's
method.
go for it.
Okay. So we
Mhm.
have A plus 5 equals 5.
So what did you do?
We did the square root.
You take the
You
square
take
root.
the square root.
You don't put it, you don't do it. You, you take the square root.
Take the square root.
So yeah, we take the square root of both sides. What's going to happen on the left side of this?
Oh wait, the left side is gonna be x. Oh wait, a plus or minus?
The left side?
No.
No, because the whole point of doing this is so the square root and the squared cancel. So you don't have a plus or minus on this side.
Oh.
This is simply going to be A plus what?
A plus 5.
That's the point, because we're trying to free this term from this. Yeah.
Okay.
On the right side, however, what do we have?
We have 5.
We do not have 5. It's incomplete. Plus
Plus.
or.
Oh, okay, there's the plus.
Yes, on the right side.
Okay. Oh, okay, got it.
Oh, uh-huh.
Okay.
Now, to complete this, what do you suggest we do next?
Now we do A plus 5. Wait. A plus 5 equals, so we minus 5 and
Yeah, subtract 5 from both sides.
Yeah.
Minus 5 here. I want to see how you're going to write this. This is important to us. How are you going to write this out?
okay. A equals okay. Negative 5 plus or minus 5.
Excellent. Let's finish it.
Okay.
Give me the first answer and give me the second answer.
Okay. So negative 5 plus 5.
Evie owes you 5. She pays you 5. How much does she owe you?
0.
Yeah, she paid you your debt.
Mhm.
If he owes you 5, she owes you another 5. How much does she owe you?
$10.
So
negative 10.
done. Those are the 2 answers to that question.
Okay.
Do you feel confident that you might be able to do this on your own?
I'm gonna practice a lot.
Yes, and you have this recording. You can definitely play it back later.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. What's the next question?
So
Yeah. So the quadratic formula, or rather quadratic equation. Okay. So look up again. Don't look down. The way you memorize this stuff is just by writing it over and over again. So tell me it again. I'm going to write it from your whatever you say. Go.
negative b
Mm-hmm.
plus or minus
Yep.
square root
Yep.
b squared.
Mm-hmm. I'm peeking.
I'm not thinking.
Go.
Plus 4.
No.
Oh. Minus 4. AC over 2a.
Excellent. So you see, they're doing the plus and minus because of the square root. Do you understand when you have a square root, you're going to do plus and minus? That's why that's there.
Oh. Okay.
Flip it your way then, and we can try the first question, which I think, wasn't it x squared minus 8x or something?
Yeah, equals 10.
Okay, cool. Oh, it's not in standard form. Okay, got it. So x squared plus 8x minus 20?
Minus 8x.
Oh, sorry.
Equals.
Minus 8x equals 20. Back to you, ma'am, in the studio.
Okay. So we have negative 8.
Mhm.
Plus or minus.
I don't think we can do this problem yet. It's not in standard form,
Oh. Yeah.
right?
It's not.
It's not in, so we have to fix that first, right?
Okay.
What's
So,
mhm.
okay. Minus 21.
Yeah, subtract 20 from both sides.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut some corners. I wanted to do it at the beginning,
Oh.
like I showed you,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
it's all good. Now we can attempt. So before you actually go into doing the problem, I highly recommend you write down your A, B, and C values. It may seem trivial or like redundant, but I think it's one way for making sure you don't make any careless mistakes.
Okay.
What's your A value?
1.
Okay.
My B value is negative 8. My C value is negative 20.
Hey, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
So okay, so now
Mhm.
it's -8.
Right, which becomes an 8. I'm just gonna write down an 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus or minus.
Okay.
-8 squared.
I hope you put that in parentheses.
I did.
Okay.
And then
After I said it.
yeah. No, I did it before you said it.
Okay.
Plus 4.
Wait, it doesn't say +4. Look at the equation. It has a minus.
-4.
Mm-hmm.
Times 1
Okay.
times -20.
Yep. All of this divided by 2 times what?
2 times 1.
That's right. So I want us to
Okay.
focus on the inside of here and kind of work this part out.
Yeah.
Remember I told you this, most students make a mistake. Then we said that you're not most students, so you will not make that mistake.
Right.
What were we talking about?
Oh, I remember.
Yep.
Keep the -4, like put it in.
Yeah. When you're multiplying, you multiply. Very good job. Those 3
Mhm.
have to be multiplied. When you're doing the multiplication, it's those 3, including this. So -4 times 1 times -20.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. You're doing a good job.
Okay.
So x equals 8 plus or minus. What's -8 to the second power?
-64.
Not quite.
Um,
You're close. But a negative times a negative cannot yield a negative.
so 64.
Yes.
Got it.
If you square a number, it'll never be negative.
Okay.
Any number, yeah. And then this becomes
And this is negative.
mhm. Yep. A negative times a negative, so we know what's coming.
It's gonna be a positive.
Yes.
80.
Good job. All of these divided by 2.
Uh-huh.
That makes sense to you.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
I reckon you want to do this part right here.
Yeah.
I reckon you're gonna get it right. Go ahead, do it.
Okay.
Laughing at my bad Southern accent. It's pretty bad. You need to get Joe to help me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, so
It's 144 plus or minus 144.
you mean root 144?
144.
Do we know what that is actually?
It's 12 times something.
Wait, the square root of 144 is 12 times something?
It's 12.
Yeah, it's just 12. The square root of 144 is simply 12.
12. Yeah.
So we then have 8
Okay.
plus or minus what?
8 plus or minus 12
Over what?
over 2.
By the way, I think I mentioned this the last time, but just to remind you, once you have this division, always pause to see, can I simplify these numbers?
Oh, right.
I mean, 2 goes into both of them, right?
Mhm.
So are these reducible?
Yeah.
Yeah. What if I had a 120, what if I had a, like a 11 here? Would this be able to reduce? No, because you can only reduce if this denominator goes into both of the ones up here.
Okay.
So let's actually reduce these. What's it going to be when 2 goes into both of them?
X equals 4 plus or minus 6.
Great, very good. Now we can complete this. Can you finish it, please?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, 4 plus 6 is 10.
Okay.
And 4 minus 6 is negative -2.
Very nicely done. So quickly recapping,
Okay.
how many methods did we go over today for solving quadratic equations?
4.
What were they?
Solve by graphing.
Graphing method,
Factoring method.
which basically X games, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Square root method.
Okay. Oh, we didn't do square root, but I mean, I know you know because you're applying it in several places.
Oh,
It was completing the square,
completing the square. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
which involves the square root
Yeah.
at the very end.
Mhm.
Nice.
And quadratic formula.
Yeah, quadratic equation. Which of these is your favorite, if you have a favorite?
Factoring.
Factoring, yeah, same, because it's just straightforward. However, sometimes you try to factor and you can't find factors that work.
Mhm.
So if I made an equation like this, so for instance, we have x squared, what in the world is happening? If I had like x to the second
Yeah.
minus 4x plus 7, you will never find factors that work
Okay.
because nothing multiplies to 7 and adds to -4. When you're stuck in this place and you go, I could do graphing, but that's tedious.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. Find the vertex, make a table, draw the dots, join the line with your nice ruler. So because that doesn't work, we have options. You can either complete the square. That's why it exists, because factoring doesn't always work.
Okay.
And graphing is annoying. Or if you don't like completing the square, you can go with the what?
Quadratic.
So between these two, which is less? Which one's friendlier in your opinion?
I like the quadratic equation.
Okay, cool. Well, if your teacher doesn't specify which method to go with the one that makes the most sense to you.
Okay.
Yeah, which I would agree. I think quadratic equation makes more sense. And remember, there's a way to, I guess you will not be allowed a calculator.
I know. I actually used calculator on my.
Did we program it?
No, he didn't deprogram.
Okay, got it. So you can check your work. We're not trying to cheat. We're just saying, hey, it's an insurance policy, right?
Yeah.
Just check the work. So yeah. Any questions for me?
I understand. Yeah, I understand a lot of it, so which is good. I need to remember that I can't get these switched up.
Correct. That's a big deal. So when do you use that? When do you use this? What's that for?
That is for the vertex.
Yeah, finding the x value of the vertex.
Mhm.
What is this for?
Yeah, that's for completing the square.
Yeah, fill in the blank. So fill the blank. This is for finding the x value of the vertex.
Yes.
Make that distinction and you're going to be in good shape.
Okay.
All right. Any questions for me?
Oh no, actually, really, I get it.
Any advice? No? No, okay. No suggestions, no advice, no questions. We all good?
Yeah, I think
So what are you going to do for your homework?
my homework, I'm going to rewrite all these.
Rewrite or add rework?
Rework, not rewrite.
Don't rewrite them. That means you're copying them directly without really understanding why you're doing what you're doing. So we can end here then. So I think this is a good stopping point. You've done a really good job. Excellent work. Keep up the good work. I'll send you the link to the video once it's available.
Thank you.
Yep. You're very welcome. Okie doke.